Flosstube. I wanted to do a little bit of my Stitch Mania update and talk a little bit about some of my finishes. First, I gotta tell you about my injury. I was at work on Thursday, and I was downstairs, and I work in an old building, and it has really heavy doors, and the doorway from the business office up into the lunchroom has a big kickback. When you try to open it, it kind of shut immediately. Well, I don't know if you can see what I did to my hand here. I hit the back of my hand right here, and now my knuckles are like all swollen. This blew up like this far, like cut that far above my hand, and became a big, I guess what the doctor would call a hematoma. So it's still swollen, and this is my hoop holding hand. So I've been holding my hoop a lot because of Stitch Mania, so it's a little bit sore today. So I have had a few finishes in Stitch Mania. For the first week, we have Eek by AB Designs, and I finished that one. And I got enabled for that one by Shari Burkett. And then I got the Grand Old Flag. It's the Flag Maker by Not Forgotten Farm or Farms. I got enabled by this one by the Primitive Stitcher. But I'm not really a primitive stitcher, so I did it on yellow fabric, and this was my fabric that I had done my little biscornu on when I was doing Cross Stitch It's Fun. We were having like a biscornu thing, and it's about as far as I got. I didn't get any farther. So after that, I worked on, let's see, I worked on the Village Sampler by Tiny Modernist, and I didn't have all the flosses for this, so I just kind of picked some out of my stash that were kind of reminiscent of the ones that were on the chart. So I kind of wrote my own flosses, and I wrote down the numbers that I used. And here's how far I got on that one. I actually am using more colors than it's charted, because this green, I outlined the windows on this because with the colors, they were kind of very similar to each other, so I thought I would do the same. I changed these inside colors on these windows from this color to green. Now I think I'm going to outline it in white so they'll pop more. So I did that for a couple of days. I've not really been sticking to a strict, however many starts or whatever. Just whatever I feel like. Then I was watching somebody's video from last year, Stitch Mania, and I have the Four Seasons chairs, it's a Janlin kit. And so this is how far I've got. Wait a minute, upside down. It's a Janlin kit. This needle binder's by Denkai. I think this was the free one that she gave out. And I got this Grime Guard from So Much to Love. I got a So Much to Love bag in the same design. It's kind of cute. That's as far as I got on. So yeah, enabled by somebody from last year's Stitch Mania. I don't remember who. Let's see. Then the one I started today, oops, I have to put this back in my... I need to have everything together. And the one I started today was on the cover of this magazine. The 1993, February 1993 Leisure Arts magazine. It's called Woodland Peace. That's what it's called. Woodland Peace, yep. And I'm not doing it in the 666 that it calls for. I'm doing it in 400. It's like a rust color. It's not really coming out true. It's lighter than that. That's as far as I've gotten. So some of the other things I've worked on since we last spoke is things I worked on at lunch. I've worked on this Dimensions kit. It's on plastic canvas. It's called Believe Snow Globe Ornament. And here is how far I am. That bar, just a little bit of the globe, and I only get 30 minutes for lunch, so I end up only stitching for a few minutes. And another thing I've been working on at lunchtime is called On the Beach. It's a Janlin kit. Oh, at the beach. It's a little kind of retro, vintagey looking girl. Here's how far I am. So yeah, little by little, each stitch counts, I guess. So yeah, those two have been my take to work projects. And then another thing I've been working on was one of my whips. I worked on one of my whips before I started doing the village sampler. This is Tempting Tangles Harvest Brew. I need to finish up in the middle here. I'm off everywhere in here, so I'm kind of just halfway making it up on my own. A little too close. I think I'm one stitch too close somewhere around this spout, and so when I come down I'm going to be way too close, so I'm kind of like, you know, faking it, this angle right here of this spout. And then I'm going to have to do there's like little weird cross things. I don't know if they're called Smyrna crosses, or you go back and forth like a regular X and up and down, or up sideways and up. And you can't even see them in there probably. I got some of those, but I think I did them the wrong color. I probably should have been this red color right here. I'd use the DMC conversion, so this looks a lot different than the example. And I did black smoke, which I don't think it's supposed to be that color, but too late now. So I did have some haul. I got some from Heartstring Samplery. I got Shooter's Hill. Got that from their Etsy store. And I also got His Eye is on the Sparrow. I don't know what I was thinking, but this is a gargantuan pattern. But I thought I would try it out. I got this fabric from the Cottage Needle. It's on Etsy store. And also from the Cottage Needle I got the Addams Family by Plum Street Samplers. Jardin Privé, this Marquise. This was enabled by McKenna. I don't remember what her channel name is called. She's changed it to something about sequins. And I got Sew Sisters. I got enabled by this one by Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher. I also got, I don't know if I showed in my last video, these little snippet things that were in a series that were ABCs. That was also Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, kind of enabled me to buy. And then I've got Power of Love by Stony Creek. This is a new pattern. The Winter is Past. And there's something missing here. What did I miss? Here it is. So I got, this is Blackbird Designs Spring Fever. It's one of those loose feathers charts. And then I got The Light Upon the Dawn, the Light Upon the Lawn, which is a new one that came out by Blackbird Designs. So I think that's all my haul. I have been overstitching because of my injury. So I probably should be slowing down with Stitch Mania, but I'm really enjoying this chair. Let's see, where'd it go? This one. The person that told me that I watched the video about, she had to call Janlyn because her pattern, when she opened her kit, it was a kit that it was missing. It's kind of like in 4 segments, you know. It's summer, spring, autumn, and winter, and she was missing 2 of her charts, so she had to contact Janlyn. And I was like, I think I have that chart. And I went and looked, that kit, and I went and looking for it and found it. So yeah, really enjoying this. And that's pretty much my haul and WIP update. I'm trying to think things I could say. I'm not really one of these people like you all are that just can talk about your personal life. You know, working in the newspaper business and always having such a deadline all the time, you learn to be very concise, because that was one of the things you had to do to make your copy fit, just to be more concise. And so I kind of just don't explain, I guess, when I'm talking to people about stuff. I kind of keep it in my head, I guess. So I'll try to be a little bit more forthcoming about my life. I'm a graphic artist. I don't know if you've noticed, but on my channel I'm also a oracle and tarot card reader, and I used to do that almost every day for like 3 years or 4 years, and then I kind of fell away from it because of just kind of got burned out. And I had a device change where my device wouldn't work anymore to upload. And now I'm just trying to get back into the swing. I'm not really feeling the need to do more oracle readings, but maybe stopping that and just changing this to strictly my crafting. That's pretty much it. I hope you all have a wonderful stitchy day, and hope to see you in the next time. Bye.